The Detroit Lions are in need of a cornerback because Amani ain't it. Amani is not it. Y'all remember that clip song? Ma don't love her. Don't listen to her words. She trying to split up of lovebirds, but that's not it. Amani's not it. Amani is off this team, bro. He is not going to be on this team next year. I guarantee it. Y'all remember that? The Sue Warehouse? We'll shoot you just fine. Sorry, y'all. I'm on one today. I guarantee that he's not going to be on this team. So the Detroit Lions are going to need a cornerback, and we've talked about should we draft one. We got Daniel Jeremiah, who says that we should take one at 6. We have the potential of taking one at 18 as well. So we got our pick of the litter coming up when it comes to cornerbacks in this draft. But we can't forget about free agency. Now, Jeff Okudah is going to be on this team. Brad Holmes looked at him and said he essentially finished his rookie year. So that means he's going to be here. He's going to be here on this team, period. Plus, he's still got 2 years. Will we pick up his 5th-year option? We'll know that very soon. I don't think we do, but regardless, he'll be on this team for 2023. But who's going to be on the other side? Mike Hughes, Juju Hughes. We got some guys, right? Who's going to be? We don't got that guy. Like Jeff Okudah at one point of the season, was that guy. We could trust him, shut down Justin Jefferson. He had some really good games, was injured, got benched. So he was all over the place. And I think Brad Holmes sees that, and he sees his potential, and I think he stays on this team. I know he stays on this team. But John, with All Lions from Fan Nation, is proposing a cornerback that we could get in free agency. And this is from Pro Football Focus, so PFF. Says for the Lions, Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Cameron Sutton was the name that could benefit from playing in Aaron Glenn's defense. Sutton earned a career best 72.2 grade as a full-time starter in 2022, allowing just 0.6 yards per coverage snap. Good for 11th among cornerbacks with at least 200 coverage snaps on the season. He offers inside-outside versatility as well, though he's been a starter on the outside the last 2 weeks. This season, the 27-year-old defensive back recorded 15 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and 43 tackles. According to SpotTrack, Sutton could be receiving a free agent contract that is valued at $7.6 million per season. So we need help at cornerback. Would Cameron Sutton, is that a name that you could see the Lions entertaining? What about if you sign James Bradberry in free agency and then draft Brian Bresee with the 6th overall pick? The thing about that, though, Lions Mania, is Bradberry is in his 30s, right? Do you want a cornerback that's over 30? Y'all tripping on Levante David, who's 32. And he don't got to run with guys that's 21 years old. So do you want a guy who's over the age of 30 is the question that I have. Bing Bong says, Okudah is not bad, but he ain't that number one guy. That's facts. You speaking facts. Okay, so if you want a guy that's in the mid-20s, then we would stay away because if I'm not mistaken, is he? I thought he was like 31. Maybe I'm mistaken. Perry says, build a defense line and linebacker core, and Jeff and Jerry can do well. Chris Houston. Oh, yeah, Chris Houston was solid. Remember at one point we had Dre Bly? Y'all old enough to remember that guy? Dre Bly, bro. I remember when we signed him, I was hype. Because I used to watch him with the Rams. Was hype, bro. Was hype. Katie says, I'm fine with this. Sign the vets and double down in the draft. Let the vets bring along the young guys. Allows you to continue to build through the draft. I think that's the statement. That's the best statement right there. And I think that's exactly what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are going to do. Anytime I mention Brad Holmes, even if I don't mention Dan Campbell, I'm thinking of him as well. Last season, the defense earned, the Lions that is, a 48.8 coverage grade, which ranked 32nd in the NFL. So, two things I realized about Brad Holmes. That Brad Holmes shops at Five Below when it comes to free agents. Five Below. Five Below ain't necessarily the dollar. You can find some stuff, man. I used to get Skylanders. I got Avengers Endgame. It was $5. It was in the bin. You can get some stuff at Five Below. But some of it ain't going to last that long. It ain't going to last that long. That's what I realized about him. That's one thing. And two is that he is not going to draft a linebacker high. Those two things are certain. Very, very strategic the way he spends money. So I wouldn't be opposed to that because, as KD mentioned, we do need some vet assistance. Okudah is not a number one guy, and we need some help on that other side. Because as I said earlier, Amani ain't it. So let me know in the comments below, how would you feel if the Detroit Lions were to sign Cameron Sutton from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and his market value is $7.6 million per season? You also know that Brad Holmes is a 1 to 2 year deal guy. So remember that this would be a 2 year deal at best. And I'm okay with that.